Episode 65.
Yeah. 5 + 6 is 11. If that means anything to you.
Nope, nothing.
And numerology, it's a magical number. 11.
I know 65 + 1 is 66. I know 65 + 4 is 69.
Oh yeah. Well, we're getting there. That should be a funny show. We should think of something. We should think of a normal show. So yeah, you were telling me, work stuff, government stuff, bureaucracies, jumping through hoops. I mean, man,
it's just an endless. When you're working with the government, you go into this endless circle where nothing gets done. You give them something, but it's not the right. It goes for anything you're trying to do. You just go in circles over, and I'm just so sick and.
Man, where's the empathy of people? Because you're dealing with people, obviously. It's not like AI or something like that. These are people. That's
the thing. The people I'm talking to, they're low level. They can't do anything. They can't go to their boss and say, hey, this is a good guy, give him what he wants or whatever. They can't do anything because the systems that are in place are so fucking stupid. There's nothing to be done. You know what I mean?
They just check boxes, these people, right? So what? So you give them everything that's supposed to check off a box, and they keep saying it's no, like they can't make an exception or understand, like.
Well, they can't do that because then their boss has to check off a box or not check off a box for them. It's a staircase of stupid things, man.
Dude, I'm sorry, man.
It's really dumb. Anyway, I'm sure we'll have a more bad mouth in the government in this episode, just like we always do, because the government is terrible.
Oh, yep, they are, and I think YouTube is probably a mouthpiece of the government. We know that because what happened.
We
with
definitely
COVID.
know that.
Yeah, they took off an episode last week's episode, and it was a 2.5-hour episode, which we vowed last week that we are going to stick between an hour and a half and 2 hours. That's what I'm trying to do today. But that said, at the end of the show, we showed a video of the Israelis leaked it, of a video of a drone video. They were vaporizing these guys, these Palestinians, unarmed. And it was like I went through it again to see if it was a big deal. It was literally 30 seconds, and we never played the whole clip. We were like scrubbing it back and forth. It was an Edward Snowden post that he put up there, and apparently, this is what YouTube says, that it was a complaint by Al Jazeera who released that video for us to take it down. So our entire video is taken down because of that minute and a half.
Unreal. We're being suppressed. Yeah. They're suppressing us.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're not going to play victims. We don't really care. If YouTube at the end of the day shuts us down, whatever. There's so many other platforms. Rumble is doing way better than that. We're on BitChute now, and it looks like the traffic is catching on there. Obviously on the podcast, we're doing really well. Also on Apple, on Google, on all those platforms. So, whatever. If you get your stuff from YouTube, get off that stupid platform because they don't allow anything on there. Seriously.
I know for me personally, I don't watch anything serious on YouTube. If I'm going to YouTube, it's not to watch news or anything serious. It's just, stuff I like to laugh at.
Right, exactly. And they only push like mainstream stuff now. So if you search for anything, it's going to be CBS, NBC, ABC, AP. You know what I mean? Or like the approved guys like Lex Friedman, and they just push on everyone. But like you said, yeah, if you want to find like like old shows, or I don't know, just really really just stuff you can't find anywhere else, YouTube will have it, especially like from 12 years ago, 20 years ago, old footage of things. They're good at that.
I love coming across viral videos from like 15 years ago and just get a little bit of that nostalgia kick. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, things are changing so much, especially with AI and deep fake.
The internet in general has changed completely. It used to be such a different place.
I know, like it sucks trying to research. Like things are deleted.
Yeah, everything's sanitized now. I think I mentioned this on a previous episode. It's the Disneyfication as in Disney.
Yeah.
Disneyfication of the internet, where you can't find old or controversial things. You're directed to, like you said, CNN, NBC, even, Fox News. It's just like, I want to look at stuff that's not in the mainstream because the mainstream lies about it.
That's why we were all on the internet before. I mean, now the thing is, the masses now are on the internet watching and social media, and they've left TV, and mostly. So the old media is kind of dying. So they're moving into the internet now, and now because they're in that space, they want to censor everything. They want to be the only ones that their points of views are pushed and supported, and not independent media and independent journalists. So they're coming into this space and saying, all right, no, this is ours. And they're passing laws. They're getting rid of TikTok. I mean, what the hell, man? Like, I mean, they think like people are just going to take it. Like, all right, fine. You guys want this internet? And then we'll just go underground. We'll go to the dark web or something. Like something else will happen. Like people don't want that shit. Like, propaganda and lies. We see through it.
Well, it doesn't matter what the people want. We're going to get forced fed the quote unquote truth.
Yeah.
As long as our media is the way it is, as long as our government the way it is. But hey, listen, if we want to keep this between an hour and a half and 2 hours, right, we better get going. This is the Uncovering Anomalies Podcast.
Yes.
That is I Want to Believe Adam.
Hey, everyone.
And I am taking eggs Topher because
that's right.
Easter, baby.
Yes. Happy Easter. He has risen,
Easter
is what I see everywhere, and Christ is King, which is a big controversy. I think we talked about last week the Christ is King thing that happened with Candace Owens, and
I think so.
Okay, all right, yeah.
What's weird though is like the further I go into the UFO and conspiracy, the more and more I'm seeing stuff about how important religion is, and Christ is King that's a very common thread that I'm seeing a lot. That actually, it surprises me that I'm seeing it so much. I mean, I'm not complaining. I think
it's a good thing.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing too. It's just, it's very interesting, especially when you start looking at people talking about, forget it. To people, when you die and you're seeing the tunnel, that's possibly an illusion to confuse you. You're not supposed to go to the tunnel. Have you seen?
That one. Stuff? The light. Yeah, don't go to the light. But it's scary because the light offers you warmth and it's welcoming. And you just have to be strong. If you don't, 99.9999% of souls, I think, go into the light. But I mean, the thing is, if you don't, it's the void. And yes, you can do whatever you want there. They say, I don't know. No, actually, who knows? This is all speculation.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, this is completely ridiculous conversation. I'm just saying, I'm seeing a lot of that type of stuff when I look into UFOs and aliens and conspiracies and whatnot.
I mean, what I loved about Christians, especially during COVID, is that they were great allies for freedom, and individual liberty and community, and we needed a lot of that back then. COVID was a really dark time, and seriously, if it wasn't for Christians and Jews too, I would say, and some Muslims, so religious people, it would have been really, they would have just taken over the government, or whoever was behind that. You know what I mean? Like they were the ones who were standing, because they don't worship the state. They know there's a higher power, there's a higher moral power. And it was basically people that worship the state against people that don't worship the state is what was going on. So yes, there's that's why I don't really hate on religion that much. It's just that it can easily be taken over and used against us, which we see happens all the time, with genocide and war, and it's always the religious thing that gets.
Yeah, hell, I mean, look at the Crusades.
Exactly. The Crusades.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up pretty religious. I've mentioned this on the show. I was Catholic. I guess I'm what you'd call a lapsed Catholic, but I was very religious, and then I was very anti-religious, and now I've come to land someplace in the middle.
Yeah, I think that's me too. I mean, I guess I would say Gnostic, because I definitely know that there's a higher power and there's a creator, an ultimate creator. I also know that humans corrupt things, and
That's
the thing.
and that was my biggest problem is I saw people using religion to do bad things, and that was really frustrating to watch.
Exactly. All right. So I mean, and this comes into UFOs, and if you notice, there are people who like Tim Burchett. He's religious, but he thinks they might be angels. That's his thing. But then but there's a lot of people in our government, evangelicals, who think that this subject is demonic and it's Satan. And now I don't know if that's an act they put as a way to keep it secret, but it's definitely, they're saying the people who are in the know in the government saying that that's why they keep it secret from the government is because they wouldn't get funding if they knew what they were doing. So like Eric Davis is famous for saying that. So I mean, and just speaking of the government, Senator Rounds was interviewed by Ask a Poll about the UAP Disclosure Act. Apparently, they don't care what Kirkpatrick said. I mean, because despite Kirkpatrick's media tour, they are proceeding with the UAP Disclosure Act this year.
Hell yeah!
So let's take a listen to what he says. Hopefully, it's clear enough.
Schumer and his team on amending your guys' UAP amendment from NDAA last year?
We're still not a lot of activity on it right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't mean that there's no activity, but it's nothing that we're specifically going in and sitting down and changing language yet.
Would you like to see changes though?
The reality is that we'll have to work with the House to find out what their concerns are, and we'll have to address them.
Do you fully know those concerns or where they're coming from? Was it Armed Services Committee or was it from House Intel?
Well, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I think there are some individuals that had some concerns, and actually some of their concerns with regard to the privacy and the confidentiality are valid.
Yeah.
But we'll do our best to work with them and get something done.
It hasn't quite percolated up yet.
No, it has not.
Appreciate you.
Nice. So they're working with the House, and the House is the Intel Committee, right? Are the ones that shut it down and gutted it. Mm-hmm. So they send it around and say he's going to work with them and figure out what are their issues and still push for the UAP Disclosure Act, and hopefully something strong in there, other than what Arrow has.
Arrow, God. What's the was it president of Argentina? Is it Argentina?
Milei.
Yeah, he's tearing off. Goes gone. We need to do that with Arrow. They're absolutely worthless, and all they do is God. I'm describing 99% of our government at this point.
Yeah. Oh, UFO Fauci is taking off. Well, not taking off. But
really?
Like when I first put it up online,
I mean, it's a perfect descriptor.
Yeah. Someone goes, yeah, no, like that. All right. So I was like, okay, fine, whatever. I don't care. And then he was in another interview, and a big account, was just underlining all this stuff he's saying that's a lie. He's lying. Excuse me. So I put UFO Fauci lying again, and it actually got some. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. Just some things just take a while, I guess, for people to realize. Yeah. But yes, he's exactly like Fauci. Like, it doesn't matter what you put in front of them, what information is out there, what the rest of the population knows, they are still going to lie.
It's just unbelievably frustrating to witness. And it's not even just about UFOs, it's everything. It's JFK, it's 9/11, it's
right. Yeah,
just
exactly
every single thing. All the evidence gets shown to these people, and they just continue to lie.
Yeah, just to bring that point up about JFK, the UAP Disclosure Act was based on the JFK Disclosure Act, and we didn't get disclosure. It got to Trump. He said, "I'm not showing this," and he punted it over to Biden, and Biden signed an executive order that's never coming out. What is the point?
Oh, hey, all you people want something? Too bad. Suck it, nerds.
yeah. We'll say that will take a 25-year process, and when that 25-year process is done, we were just kidding.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's just unreal.
Oh, look who gets into a UFO podcast. The Council on Foreign Relations.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, of course, it is the CFR. They are globalists. Probably the head of the snake with the New World Order. So it's not going to be anything good, and it's not, because they just believe Arrow. They have some national security expert on here, just saying the normal stuff. So I'm not going to go too much through here. Again, we're going to go quickly because we do have other stuff to go through. But I want our audience to know that the CFR is covering it and also pushing the misinformation that it's nothing, that it's just our adversaries.
Security protocol. Eyewitness encounters and video footage of UAPs captured by military personnel were all investigated by the Defense Department, even long after officials said the program had been shut down. Many parts of this mysterious initiative remain classified, but the news shifted the tone around UAP research, which has predictably raised questions about whether or not the government has found evidence of extraterrestrial life on Earth. And if the Times report wasn't stimulating enough, 2023 had even more in store for UFO enthusiasts.
Last year, we saw some pretty dramatic testimony from an intelligence officer who worked on a UAP task force, who testified before Congress saying that he believed the government was hiding evidence of a crash retrieval program that had recovered alien technology and in some cases alien biology, corpses, we could think of it. Proof of extraterrestrial life, and that the government was hiding this.
You might remember this because it was all over the internet. Intelligence officer David Grush made headlines with a dramatic congressional testimony.
I was informed in the course of my official duties of a multi-decade UAP crash retrieval and reverse engineering program, to which I was denied access to those additional read-ons when I requested it.
Do you believe that our government is in possession of UAPs?
Absolutely, based on interviewing over 40 witnesses over 4 years.
And it raises the question of, all right, is what we're seeing here an actual government whistleblower with proof of extraterrestrials who has just revealed it to the public? Or is what we're seeing an illustration of a big kind of urban legend that has existed within the intelligence community for decades? And I think I'm in the latter camp on this one right now, because until somebody comes forward with something in the way of really concrete evidence, I don't know why we should believe, based on pure hearsay, that the government...
How much more concrete evidence do you need?
But see, they make it sound so good. It's so well produced.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Man,
I know.
Like,
and
it works.
UFO believers haven't done much to help themselves in that regard either. They always, you gotta give small bites and not the whole burger.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't say, hey, I was on a spacecraft and aliens took me to Andromeda and I lived there for 45 million years and then I came back. Like you just say, here's a picture of a UFO.
Right. And I just love how he just leaves out stuff that Grush did present evidence that's illegal for us to see. It's illegal for him to disclose, but he gave it to the intelligence community, and they don't mention that shit. You know what I mean? So it sounds he's still lying. He's lying by omission is how he's lying, just because we don't see it, So anyway, whatever. I don't want to get too much into it, but it's the CFR, so it's not like we're gonna believe what they said. This is the Roswell Daily Record. I put this on. Oh no, I can't see it. Wait a minute. I put it on archive.org because they are now making you pay. So wait, let me copy this. I guess we can read it from here. Yeah. So yeah, but it's just not very clear.
Hold on, you gotta read the title, man.
Mobilizing Against Government Disinformation, a Call to Action on UAP by Kevin Wright. This is on the Roswell Daily Record. Of course, it's Roswell.
We've used them a couple times as sources in the last few weeks.
Yeah, they have good info. So he talks about the Arrow recently released a report on historical records. The report's tissue-thin analysis fell woefully short of providing the comprehensive review Congress intended. After all, we are discussing a record of investigating UAP dating back 80 years. Did AARO carefully analyze and review that record in a paltry 63 pages? The short answer is no.
I think the answer actually is yes, but they refuse to actually disclose any of that information to the American public.
Right. They knew it, and that you can see by their action, and that's why the whole Gremlin thing, like, okay, if that wasn't true, why would they then jump on the whole Gremlin program, right?
Right,
and
exactly.
try to get more sensors to figure out what's going on. More alarming, rather than a mere whitewash of the government's role, particularly that of the intelligence community in the UAP investigations, it appears to be part of a more extensive disinformation campaign prohibited by Executive Order 12333 against the American people. So here, and he goes more into that, and basically, the government orchestrated disinformation campaigns typically involve disseminating false or misleading information through various media channels. And they're basically talking about Kirkpatrick before the report was released. He went on many media outlets and publications.
Yeah, I mean, the guy's been all over the place.
Yeah, on podcasts, saying that it's a small band of conspiracy theorists that infiltrated Congress and convinced congressmen who are also prone to conspiracy theories that the government is hiding. So they're saying what he did is illegal because he is a member of the intelligence community and he's not allowed to do that. So the guy better be careful.
Well, he's sure allowed to do that. I mean, God, how many times do we have to see these people lying to the general public and they get away with it?
Yeah,
and look at Clinton and that whole thing.
Oh man, yeah, and because like you were saying last week about the whole 80%. I mean, many people just they want to hear what they want to hear that it's not real, and then they can just dismiss it and move on with their lives. It's much easier that way, especially with a subject like this.
Yeah.
So, in other words, AARO wrote a report filled with inaccuracies and misinformation. Their former director of AARO starts laying the groundwork, previewing findings through shoddy opinion columns. Then, strategically timed on the eve of public release, AARO invites hand-picked media, many of whom are less than informed on the overall UAP subject and its history and eager to curry favor, to preview the report's findings, shaping the public's perception and opinion on what the government knows about UAP. And that's what happened, yeah? And then all the headlines were the same, right? No evidence of extraterrestrial, no evidence, over and over and over and over, everywhere. It was like that for 2 weeks.
And I just want to say, I love curry.
Me too, man. All right. So what's your favorite curry then? There's
red curry.
Oh, red curry. Yeah. Have you tried Thai curry?
Yeah, of course.
Thai curry is good. Japanese. You tried Japanese curry?
I have not. All Thai food is fantastic, though. I've never had a bad Thai meal.
Agreed, man. It's such a good food because it's a good mix of
you got your spices and your noodles.
French.
I mean, it's amazing.
So yeah, I mean, I'm glad people out there are saying this stuff on I grant it's the Roswell newspaper, but
yeah,
still.
But even still, it's good to see the pushback against AARO and our government in general. I think people are starting to wake up and really they don't like seeing that they're being lied to.
Yeah, and I hope Daddy Sheehan
like openly lied to. You know what I mean?
So openly lied to, just blatantly in your face, and calling congressmen conspiracy theorists. I mean, what the hell is wrong with him? Like, aren't they pissed? Well, Fauci did that with Massey, right? And Rand Paul, I mean, too. They just sit there and question the guy. And he's like, "Excuse me, Senator, you have no idea what you're talking about." Like, it's the same kind of guy. It's the same personality. He would do the same thing too. If Kirkpatrick was up there in Congress and they were questioning him, and Burchett was like, you obfuscate, you had hid this information, he would say the same thing to him. "Excuse me, Congressman, you have no idea what you're talking about." Circus.
Yeah.
Or Soikis.
The good thing about Fauci is at least I know I could take him to a street fight. Guy's like 5'3".
They're all goblins.
they're just little chaos goblins.
Oh man, 5'3". I bet you he is, right? Wait,
he's really small.
Yeah. How tall? is Fauci? I want to know.
It's gonna say the internet's gonna say 5'7", which means you can subtract 4 inches.
Oh man, he's 5'7". That's a lie. He's probably 5'6".
I called it. I called it. That means he's 5'3".
68 kilograms. You can throw that guy. Oh
Yeah,
my god,
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, dude, he's 100 pounds. That's so funny. He's like Napoleon.
I think Napoleon actually was 5'7".
Yeah, he was 5'7". He's all his paintings, right? He's on a horse or something. That's why he put himself on a horse. And yeah, anyway. So here's a renowned UFO researcher, Robert Powell, unveils innovative book, UFOs, A Scientist Explains What We Know and Don't Know. This was a couple days ago. Press release. I don't know who Robert Powell is, but he's the founder of the Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies. Nice. He has dedicated, 17 years to the comprehensive study of unidentified flying. We have covered. There might be another one actually. After this. So they have just released another report. They've done really good scientific reports on UFOs, and what they do is they take information from the government, military sources, radar sources. I think the last one we did was radar, and they would calculate how fast these things were going by taking radar from different radar towers. Something which I'm sure the government has done, but has never released. So they did it, just showing these things were going thousands of miles per hour back in the 40s and 50s. So maybe that's what he's going into here. In his groundbreaking exploration, Powell immerses readers in the captivating history. Okay. But what else? Delving deeper, Powell meticulously examines the extraordinary characteristics exhibited by UFOs, which defy conventional explanations, from unparalleled acceleration to inexplicable electromagnetic interference. These anomalies challenge our understanding of the cosmos. So I'm definitely going to get this one. I like these type of books.
Yeah, this is good stuff. My inspiration for this book is driven by the many wonderful and interesting people I met during my 17 years study of UFOs, Powell said. This book explores whether the UFO mystery is driven by an unknown and superior intelligence, along with the implications that would entail. Yeah.
Nice. Chris Mellon. All right. Yeah, I don't know about Chris Mellon. I just don't. He hasn't seen UFOs, and I think he even says when he was under the Secretary of Defense, he never saw anything. So I don't know why he's in this. He keeps saying he's in this because he believes the pilots and the other people have seen stuff and thinks it's a national security threat. He's
probably a plant.
I know, right? He is a melon, first of all.
Yeah.
All right, so this would be a good book. Let's see, when is it coming out? They're not telling us when it's coming out.
Probably says at the top.
Oh, available April 2nd. All right, so in a couple days.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to get that one. So
it's definitely good they decided not to do April 1st.
Maybe that's what happened, right? Yeah. Like, no, we're not doing it April 1st. So they released this. This is the institute he founded. And when was this one released? March 25th. So like fairly recently. Ago. Yeah, a couple of days ago. So they did this report. I want to go through just quickly some of the things they found. Like they did a comparison between day and night incidents from 1945. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't read the report. UAP activity pattern study, 1945 to 1975, military and public activities. Scientific Coalition for UAP Studies. So they break it down with different graphs. Here they have day and night between 1945 to 1975. So you can see in the beginning, Topher, it was all mostly daylight.
Right.
And then from the 60s
slowly became night. Yeah. They caught on to us seeing them.
Right. And probably because we were shooting them down too. And they're like, all right, screw this. Let's just hide. Yeah. But a lot of this you can see is nuclear activity. Like 1952, I think, is when we started the H-bomb. Was during these days. It was a hydrogen bomb. So you can see that spike right there.
This is very interesting information, actually.
Yeah. And then what else do they go through here? All right, this is the day and night showing just the decrease.
More and more night.
Yeah, all night. And then this is comparison between military and public incidents, which is this one.
If you scroll back up to that first, what's that? What's the year there that it says?
1952. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's the H bomb again.
Wow.
Which is, way scarier than just an atomic bomb. This, right? It's just, magnitudes and magnitudes.
Got to check and see the monkeys are blowing themselves up.
Exactly. Like, what is going on up there?
Yeah.
Or down there. Public military.
It's interesting actually that public and military was pretty similar until later years. What's that? What's that say? 1964. That one.
Yeah. Yep.
And then it became strongly public. Maybe that's when the military personnel were told to shut their traps.
Yeah, and it got way more secret. Maybe when was FOIA? That was that was in the 70s, I think. Right?
I honestly I couldn't tell you.
The freedom of I bet it was the 70s. FOIA passage. 1966. Look at that. Look at that. Exactly 1966. So once FOIA was enacted, they're like, all right, let's shut up.
Yeah. Wow.
We don't want it coming out. Oh my. Do they even correlate that? Well, we correlated it here on the show.
You heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, look at that. 1966 and then dropping off. So July 4th, 1966 is when FOIA was enacted.
That might have been just when the world started to get a little bit less groovy, too. You know what I mean? End of the 60s, the hippies were starting to grow up a little bit, and it was 70s and 80s. That was like Reagan years, right? I mean, we got
he was early.
He was 84, I want to say.
70s was Ford and who else was in the 70s? Oh, JFK. So this is during JFK.
No, JFK was 63. Right?
Oh yeah, so Carter's 66, right? He was after him.
Well, no, it was
LBJ.
It was LBJ.
LBJ. When did Carter come in? Early 70s?
God, I don't know. This is embarrassing. I don't know American history well enough.
Anyway, okay, back to the report. So this is a comparison between military and public incidents. Like you said, pretty equal. And then public just took over the 60s. And then it became equal again in the mid 70s.
Huh.
Yeah, kind of.
Interesting.
Because the military increase is driven by incursions at the ICBM bases during 1975.
Well, isn't that funny?
I know. Once we figured out ICBMs, they're like, all right, we need to check this out again. Every time we come up with something, right? Okay, we need to go check on these things.
They've been seen around the CERN thing, right?
Yeah, they have. And weird storms, too, around CERN. So this is a geographic area, also ICBM and military. These are all military bases mostly.
I'm surprised there's not more up north in my old neck of the woods, Montana, because I know eastern Montana's got a bunch of, maybe they still, maybe they do, maybe they don't. I don't know anymore, but they used to have
the Minutemen. There's a bunch of them there. Yeah,
they used to have a bunch of nuclear missiles up there.
They have some incursions. Yeah, it doesn't look like many. And this is also geographic location, public military. What else do we have here? Incidents.
Well, I think we need to move on to the next article, but I highly recommend our listeners go and check this out because there's a lot of really good information here.
Absolutely. And this came out last week also. World's first nuclear fusion powered electric propulsion drive.
Oh,
look at this thing.
That's pretty cool.
Small. Yeah.
It looks like that one weird clock. Remember it's been maybe a couple months since we talked about it, but it was like that weird, really complicated clock where we had to ask your wife where the actual readout was because we couldn't find it.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, it does look like it. That's right. We didn't know how to read that clock. Fusion, though, huh?
Cool stuff, man. The future's coming up on us quick.
Yeah, and they're called Rockstar, or sorry, Rocket Star is the company, U.S.-based aerospace company.
Rocket Star is a pretty good name. I got to give it to them.
The demand for nuclear fusion thrusters in space exploration and satellite deployment is expected to increase in the coming years. So, I mean, so does that mean it doesn't really need water-fueled pulsed plasma thruster? That's really cool. Really cool.
Yeah, that's sci-fi shit.
Yeah, I mean so water vapor, the base thruster generates high-speed protons through the ionization of water vapor.
Wow.
The press release, yeah. So you don't really need. I mean, that's the fuel. It's just water, and you can get water from anywhere, really.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I mean,
hell, we're talking sci-fi. You could just mine that from an asteroid or something. If you need more fuel.
Exactly. Wonder how strong this thing is. More propulsion units thrust by. Oh, so the technique produced ionizing radiation and increased the base propulsion units, but thrust by 50%. In space testing, so they are testing it in October 2024. That's this year. We'll be testing it at SpaceX.
Yeah. Wow. We might have, space travel here sooner than we thought.
Well, yeah, we can do our space trucking job.
Oh, one day, my man. One day. I want to be bringing platinum to Mars.
Yeah, exactly. And then what are they mining on the moon too? They're mining is it helium-3?
Helium-3. They suspect that's going to be the form of fuel in the future. Helium-3. Very
cool. So yeah, there's that, and then there's a bunch of UFO videos that that came up last week. This is a bizarre one. This one is in Brazil, as usual. A lot of them are in Brazil.
Yeah, they get a lot of them down there.
It's it's diamond shaped.
Aí, galera.
He's speaking Portuguese. Wait, let him. There it is.
Oh,
yeah. Do you see that? I can't really zoom in more.
No, I can see it.
Okay, is he zooming in?
That's weird. I mean, if that's not a UFO, what is that?
It's just standing there.
Yeah.
I mean, usually if it's something from a spacecraft or something that like SpaceX, it morphs, it changes.
It's way too low. I mean, my guess, I think that's way too low to be anything that's in outer space that they're viewing. I think that's something that's in our atmosphere.
Right. Oh, man, I wish it wasn't moving so much, but
yeah, it's still a really cool video. Weird.
San Paulo.
I went to school with a girl who was from San Paulo.
Ooh. Wait. Oh, really?
Yeah.
She moved here.
Her family moved here like when she was in high school. Very interesting lady.
So was she like European Brazilian? Was she
Brazilian?
Brazilian. Oh, okay, yeah. So she has that nice skin color.
It's needless to say, but she was very, very attractive.
Yeah, they usually are, the Brazilians.
Yep.
So here is a close-up of it. Look at that.
I wonder. I'm looking at it now. There's no way. That couldn't be the oh God, I always forget the TR-37.
Oh, TR-3B.
Yeah, that one.
Who knows? It could be. I mean, we're in 2024, man, and if like the theories are true that by sometime in the 70s or 60s even that something they just went off. Who knows what they have these days?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Well, that's clearly a bird holding a balloon.
Yeah. Always those damn balloons. Like, yeah, this one might be a balloon that someone blew up and then let go.
Isn't this one? Didn't we talk about this one last week, or is this a different one?
I think it's a different one. It's a different guy too.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
Some fun stuff happening on the moon right now.
This guy rolled out.
We're finding crazy buildings there. I mean, and we're seeing all this stuff going around. I wonder if there's something big going on.
I think because there's a lot of more amateur astronomers who are always watching the moon, and they connect their phones. Did you see it? Wait.
Yeah. No. I saw what you're talking about.
March 16th, 2024.
That's crazy that there's technology that allows you. Hold on, I missed it.
There. Okay, not the ISS. He's saying.
No, I missed it again. Oh,
What? Oh, he slowed it down. Wait, how do I rewind? Stupid damn Instagram. I mean, why don't they have a rewind button? It just all right. So it replays. So it's gonna go by quickly. There, he saw it on his camera. All right. Fast moving object, he calls it. There it is.
yeah. Wow.
Of course,
Wow.
that's what I says. Oh, not a meteor. Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy stuff. I just can't
So-
believe there's technology that allows you to connect your phone to a telescope. That's super
So
cool.
sick. So sick. I mean, I think the phones we have are just amazing. They really are. Yeah, they're addictive, and yes, they're creating depression and stuff like that. I mean, anything that's powerful, it's going to have negative side effects. But
On other possibility, he ruled out it was a meteor since it didn't have a distinctive tail being and its slower rate of speed. Voltimer, the person who caught it, believes the object was traveling at an altitude of 100 to 200 kilometers. Example,
wow,
i.e., in the transition to the so-called low Earth orbit. The exact shape of the object cannot be made out from the still image as it had been blurred by the speed it was traveling at.
crazy! 200 kilometers up there. So I mean, we have spacecraft up there, and oh look, here you can buy the Celestron he used.
Oh, perfect. More
$1,600
advertising. Oh, only $1,600.
I know. You can buy an Amazon for payments.
Oh, are they really doing that now?
Yeah. They're if you use their card, yeah, of course.
Uh-huh. Oh God. Hey, it's got good reviews though.
Yeah, Celestron. I had a Celestron. I sold it a while ago to a retired police officer. I met him halfway. He lived. I met him at that one. There's a casino out in the desert, Morongo or something like that.
Yeah, isn't that where? Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, so I met him there, and he took it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm a retired police officer. I'm really interested in the space. Thank you very much." Like, I sold it for nothing because I was in a pickle in those days. Plus, I wasn't using it. But yeah, these are great telescopes. And see this thing right here? You pick what you want it to. It uses GPS, so you choose like Jupiter, and it's like zzz, zzz.
What?
Yes, dude.
Oh man, that's
yeah,
super cool. I had that. Man, wow.
I know. They're
I'm not
so
up.
cool.
I'm not up to date on my telescope technology. But man, I had no idea we were capable of that.
It's so awesome, and you can hook it up to your computer, the software too, and then because the software is better than that device it has there on the side, and you can show different galaxies, clusters, all that stuff. Really cool. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Well, I'll have to dig through my couch and pick up some pocket change and buy that thing for $1,600.
Yeah. Hey, man, you never know. I mean, if we have the time, one day.
One day down the road, yeah, when we've got our recording studio,
right,
and we've also got a observatory on the roof.
Oh, I do have an idea I'll run by you after the show, though. I don't want people to steal our idea, but it's a really cool idea. I mean, anyway, yeah, it won't happen immediately, but I think it's a cool idea, and it might do well.
Yeah.
All right, so this is Reddit. Tasty beverage puts on RU.
I don't think you need to say the username.
All right. So UAP captured on radar and video, high security rhino farm in South Africa. On radar and video. Look
Whoa! It looks like that thing last week that we talked about, and this is what I was talking about. I think they call them. No, chupa chupas are different.
Oh.
But this is what do you remember last week I brought up like witches and how people see it looks just like this.
And there it is. I think this is on radar. That's the radar, and then that's the video.
Dude, that is crazy stuff.
Balloon! It's a balloon.
Yeah, clearly. I think it's a squirrel being carried by a bird. No, I'm kidding.
Right, because it could be that, right?
They literally have names for this type of phenomena, and I cannot
really?
For the life of me. But basically,
who? Like Europeans, you mean, or
no, South Americans. It's essentially another word for witch. I think I could be mixing up some stuff, but this kind of UFO is seen pretty common, and people have filmed it. We've Had a couple of them on the show.
Right. This is like the octopus, not octopus, the
Yeah,
jellyfish.
a little bit like that. Yeah.
Okay, so he's still following it. Where's it go at the end here? So what is it doing? It's a rhino. It's a high security rhino farm. So it's taking care of rhinoceroses. Or is it Republicans in name only?
I think it's just zooming through, man. It's on its way to the Florida Keys.
All right. I guess his camera then. So that's all of it. I didn't even want to go through the comments. Should we?
It's going to be really stupid.
So they submitted it. All right. So it was submitted. It's a rhino sanctuary.
It's from NUFO RC, which I don't know what that is.
Clerk.
Oh, that's the rhino. So stupid. Okay.
Yeah. Number of observers is 3 of them.
This was in South Africa.
Yep. In Klerksdorp.
Hold on a sec. I want to breeze through this.
Okay.
Object was not traveling in a straight line. Changed course as well.
Oh, okay.
It's definitely not a drone of some kind, and the shape of it seems to move on the top of the object as if scanning or something. Just very, very weird. Wow. Man, what a great submission.
Yeah.
Yeah, reminiscent of the jellyfish UAP. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
What?
I don't think I'm ready for this jelly.
God.
Oh my God, here we go. They have to. Do they pay people to do that, to go in there and make those threads?
Truthfully, I think they do. Yes.
Oh my God.
Scroll down in the next top level comment. Follow that line on the left side. There.
Oh.
Okay.
His video. All right.
Keep going. Let's do one more. Okay.
Infrared. That's a good question. Thermal camera, black is hot and white is cold. Can switch, so it's inverse. About the camera.
Kind of looks like a hammer. Interesting.
Yeah. Someone claiming to be in the know. Hammer type. Yeah. The 4chan guy.
Great.
All right. So what do we have?
Hold on. Sorry, really quick. Didn't 4chan guy said it gets aggressive when other vessels get near it? I don't.
No, that's the big thing. That's the one that was making the UFOs. Yeah, the huge one.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, if you get near it, it just vaporizes you. Sort of like the Israelis do. Oh man.
Can't say that.
Yeah. With submissions. Oh, same thing. Not my video. All right, we saw that. This is definitely not a drone.
We can move on. I think we've covered this enough.
Okay. I mean, yeah, we'll put everything in our show notes. So what are we doing with the show notes now? We're putting it into a Google Doc, and then you guys can go in there and just check out everything we're going through.
Oh, that's cool.
Instead of putting it under, because YouTube is dinging us for spam and I don't know what to, and I think it keeps it more organized anyway, so we're not putting in all these links under the description. But yeah,
that way we can just refer back to a former episode and open up the Google Doc. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. So this is from Think Tank on X. Love him. He gives some great videos. So shout out to him. He's saying extraterrestrial spacecraft. We don't know that, but the video is pretty cool. It's in Astoria, New York. I guess that's Upper New York. Now watch how it changes direction. So it's going by. The roof is right there before it hits the roof, and then turns direction. And really weirdly too. I don't know why it doesn't.
Oh, whoa! What?
Yeah, and it's stabilized. That's why you can see how it's doing that.
Right. Yeah, I understand. That's crazy stuff.
But what's that thing on top of it though?
That could just be camera, like what's it called? Artifacts,
debris, or artifacts.
The turns it makes though are absolutely wild,
and it turns again
because it makes a 90-degree turn to the left and then an immediate 90-degree turn to the right, and it looks like Tic Tac.
Yeah, it does. MUFON. They submitted to MUFON.
Bunk.
Yeah, bunk. Exactly. It's like Pong. It's like it's playing Pong.
Yeah, exactly. Wow, that's great footage. And that was in the day, during the daytime.
That was during the daytime, and people have to be looking up to see this. This is another one from Think Tank. Cigar-shaped object recorded in flight over New York. This is extremely slowed down, obviously, he says. And people did. Whoa! Look at it. People did zoom in on it, and you should see. It looks like the Batman satellite or the Dark Knight satellite.
Well, hold on. Going through my Batman knowledge. What are you talking about? The Batman satellite?
The Dark Knight. Have you heard of sorry, not Batman, but the Dark Knight satellite?
The Dark Knight. Yes.
Yeah.
I thought that was more of like a triangle shape, though.
It looked like this, but on its side or up like horizontal instead of vertical.
Well, now hold on. I'm pretty sure of this. Go ahead and hit that Google button.
Look at this thing.
And I want to see. Wow, that is crazy stuff.
What is going on here? Are those like windows there?
Man. It looks like a really it looks like a convertible with no wheels.
Yeah, it does. What is going on here? This subject is so bizarre, man.
It really is. I think that's the point, is to make it so bizarre. Doesn't it look like a convertible, like with the top down, no front windshield?
Yeah,
and like there's even like little wheel things you can kind of see. It looks like
right here.
Yeah,
here. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right. So wait, I'm gonna have to look up the Dark Knight satellite now.
Yeah, I thought that was more of a triangle shape.
Dark Knight satellites.
Oh, I love that song.
Black Knight satellite conspiracy theory. Stupid Wikipedia. All right, there it is.
All right, so it's not a triangle exactly, but I wouldn't say it looks like that object that we just looked at.
No, just up on the side.
No, I mean this has points.
Yeah,
that does not
was smooth.
I can see a wheel there though.
Yeah.
But no, I don't think this looks like the Black Knight satellite.
All right. Where were we? Right here. All right. Crazy.
What a weird UFO case.
Is that AI enhanced? It appears plasma scorched, extreme speed, re-entry, or denser lower at altitude. Huh. Could be one of ours.
I honestly don't know what to make of this.
Weird, man. Where's the video again? I want to see the video. I mean, yes, it's slowed down. There it is. Slow. Maybe all these things just, float on by. I mean, was this taken from a blimp?
I was literally just about to ask what this video was taken from.
Yeah, he doesn't really tell us. All right, cool. So there are some older UFO ones that showed up. This is a massive UFO captured by NASA's Helio viewer traversing the sun. Date of sighting, November 27th, 2023. Source is helioviewer.org. It is the size of Mercury. You see it right there?
Oh God. What?
Right there.
Uh-huh.
Yep. So helioviewer.org. The size of Mercury.
I'm trying to think of a non-UFO explanation for this, because that's what I do.
Yeah, I mean, what would be that big though? I mean, yeah, it could be an asteroid that big too. Wait, but going that fast, wouldn't it? Like, if it's a natural object, wouldn't the sun's gravity grab it and it'll just go into it?
That's what I was going to say, is it would get sucked into the sun, I would think.
Right. Yeah. So there is some propulsion going on here.
Wow.
Something
maybe
like
they're fuel scooping.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you could figure out how to have a spacecraft that big, I'm sure you figured out how to use the sun in a way.
Mm-hmm. So close though.
I know. It could be like their own satellites too, like viewing the sun, like how we have satellites. It could be something like that.
Hold on, what's that top comment say? It doesn't make any sense. The trail's all wrong. It could be going away from the sun due to the solar wind coming from the sun. This looks like a trail of an object in an atmosphere, and I don't think there is one around the sun. Why wouldn't it be able to counter the solar wind? The object might, but not the trail.
So he's saying the trail wouldn't stay there. That
Yeah.
the solar wind's pushing, that this should be pushed also.
Right. That makes sense.
Unless it's some weird... There might be an artifact then with the camera.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like a long exposure thing where it was tracking the thing, yeah, I mean, it took a picture over like a longer period of time, and it's just a camera artifact. Because I mean, that seems right to me.
Yeah, look at this weird, like just how it looks too.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's a weird one.
Right? All the sun ones are usually strange. This reader from Outkick, I think, is a podcast. So Outkick reader shares wild UFO story while he was in Iraq. In 2011, he says his story.
It was during the drawdown in Iraq in 2011. My battle buddy, name redacted. Hold on, I gotta get the computer closer. And I were doing perimeter checks on the southeast side of the Kirkuk. Do you know?
Kirkuk. Yeah,
Kirkuk Air Base, when we saw what appeared to be a ring of lights evenly spaced like an arch in the night sky. It was around 2 a.m. When I stopped the truck, I asked my battle buddy if he was seeing what I was seeing. He said, quote unquote, "I see something. What do you see?" Neither one of us wanted to be the first to attempt to explain what we were seeing, as we sat back and watched this thing for about 20 minutes. While I will try to describe what happened during and after that 20 minutes, I do not expect you to believe me. If someone told me what I'm about to tell you, I would say to them, sorry, I just do not believe you, so I will not be put off on you to say the same thing to me. The lights we saw were only on one side of the craft. At first, we thought it was a night operation over the city of Kirkuk, but the lights were stationary and evenly spaced. No chopper could do that anyway. Then we thought of surveillance drones controlled by a computer program, but neither redacted had seen drones do something this perfect while in
country. Yeah.
While in country. Then the lights started to move upward. When we first saw the lights, they were about 300 feet above the city. As the craft moved upward, we could see it was round, and at the very center of the craft, there was a round glowing circle that was a dark turquoise blue green. Turquoise/blue/green. This light was constant and did not twinkle. The craft seemed to bounce in the air a little bit as it moved upward, very common in UFO sightings.
Mm-hmm.
And it would stop and bounce again. It did this 3 or 4 times. Then it stopped at about 1,000 feet, and we could see how the top of the craft was blocking out the stars as it moved. We did not see any markings as the craft seemed to be black, except for the lights and the glowing disc circle on the bottom and in the center of the craft. After the movement and bouncing stopped, it hovered while slowly rotating the lights on the side of the craft slowly. Then it moved faster than anything I've ever seen before. I mean to say the craft went straight up and a bit to the north, and once it seemed to pass into space, it got fast and flew in the way of a shooting star, only going straight up. The further away it went at this point, it just made it look like the brightest star in the sky.
Huh.
The last thing we saw was like a doorway that opened up, and the craft went in, and the door closed. The hardest thing to believe was its size. It appeared to be at least nearly 5 miles in diameter. Wow.
5 miles in diameter. So,
do you want me to keep reading?
Yeah, it's a great story.
All right. After it was gone, we went to the ATC tower to ask if they had taped any activity over the city. The answer was no. We told the tower staff about what we had seen. Because of our close relationship we have with the tower staff, we were taken seriously. Then we left the tower and went to the early morning radar and talked to the staff there. Again, nothing was taped or seen over the city. We did not tell the unit why we wanted to see the tapes.
Huh. Wow, man. That is crazy.
Yeah, that is absolutely nuts.
5 mile diameter. And you know, it's like they only saw it too. You know, like why wasn't it on radar? Why didn't the tower see anything?
Let me read this last part here.
Okay.
I know that what I said I know that what I have said sounds far-fetched. Even I believe that. But I know what I saw, and my battle buddy was with me and saw the exact same thing. The size and speed were impressive. This part's very important. Mankind does not have technology to do what we saw. When it comes to sharing this information, we do not know what we saw. It was a very strange night. This was the only time we saw anything. Believe me or not, it does not matter.
Wow. I mean, I don't know why Iraq gets all this. I mean, yes, it might be because of the military activity we had there, the misery that's been put on. I mean, but there's something special about that place. You know, I don't believe for a second we went there because of oil. Even when I was in my 20s, I knew that we were going there for something else because I was into this subject, and I thought, we were going after the tablets, and those things were taken. Those were the first things that were missing anyway in 2003. The first things that were missing were the Sumerian and Babylonian stuff that were stolen from there.
Yeah,
it has a very strange history. Again, I saw weird stuff when I was there too, when I was a contractor there. So there's something about Iraq in that region.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say it's not just Iraq. I mean, look at Egypt and the pyramids and the Sphinx. I mean, how many times have we talked about how strange that whole thing is? I mean, there's a lot of crazy things that came out of that area and that happened in that area.
Yeah. So I mean, and we're still there, right? We haven't left that area, left Iraq. We're still there, and I know. I think Saddam was kind of like obsessed with this too. Or especially with the history of Iraq, and he was rebuilding things, and there was always strange rumors about him. So, and they're just cool people, the Iraqis. They're different. They're very intelligent. They're very sophisticated. We talked about this app before, about that radio app. I think it's called Radio Guardian.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so if you go into Iraq, like they have like symphonies going on, like it's completely different than the surrounding areas, you know what I mean? Which could be like only Quran or like, you know what I mean? But you go into Iraq, like they have like all this Western stuff, they have philosophical shows, like they're different people completely. I like checking out that app. It's really cool.
I pointed out, when you showed that to me, I thought that was cool seeing, and I showed it to my coworkers, and for a while we were like bouncing around different radio stations around the world.
Yeah, like the ones up in the north or the ones that are secluded islands. Those are cool too, right?
Yeah.
So this also is from the 80s and 90s. Have you heard about this, the Hudson Valley?
Yes, I know all about the Hudson Valley. A podcast. You've heard of the last podcast on the left, right?
They covered this.
They do a great episode on the Hudson Valley sightings.
So what do they think it was? Or they just covered
They think it was a UFO.
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, one of the guys on there, the loud, crazy one, Henry Zabrowski, he's a huge believer in aliens and UFOs. And so, of course, he believes this. And I think they tried to debunk it, but they couldn't because there were just so many witnesses that saw this. Actually, it's funny. I was telling my mom about this one the other day because she had never heard of the Phoenix Lights, and I said,
"What? She didn't?"
No,
oh, man.
I was telling her, I was like, there was another big boomerang UFO sighting up in New York.
Yeah, there it is.
Hudson Valley. Yeah, there it is.
Wow, so we have footage of it too. 1983, Hudson Valley, New York.
Well, and people were like, traffic stopped to look at this.
Yeah,
they had a big UFO conference, and everyone came forward. And then there was this other thing where some UFO researchers, a really famous one whose name escapes me right now, was it him? It doesn't matter. They put out a bounty. They said $10,000 to anyone who can prove that this is fake, and no one ever came forward.
And they couldn't.
And then they also people later tried to fake it. They went on these small, they're like plane things, and tried to, because if you go back and look at that video, people were thinking potentially it could be a bunch of these plane things all right next to each other in a boomerang shape, and then they went and tried that, and nobody reported any sighting of this craft.
That's so nuts, man. So I mean, so I guess that because all right, so we have that one, and the Phoenix Lights was in the 90s. No other big ones since then, right? Where like the entire city sees and takes video. And the Belgium one was also in the 90s. But in the 2000s,
there was one in Skinwalker Ranch. I don't know if a bunch of people saw it, but it was the same kind of deal. It's a big UFO. The guy whose interview I'm remembering specifically, he said it looked like just a giant city that was floating.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So the EU Parliament had a UFO hearing. Well, obviously, we're not going to play the whole thing, or maybe not going to play any of it. But it's cool because they did have their own presenters, but they had Ryan Graves was in there. They had someone from the Seoul Institute, although she's European. So everyone always just copies the U.S. You know, whenever our Congress does, it just trickles down to these other.
Yeah, I mean, regions. We have a distinct flavor. The Americans do. It's great. Everyone seems to copy, you know, our culture and our copy it, but we do seem to be trendsetters.
Yes, we motivate them. Like, oh, if the U.S. is doing it, you know, it's like a green light. It's like they get a green light to do it.
Yeah.
I know laws are like that, like especially after 9/11, like the whole like anti-terrorism laws, they all copied and pasted the Patriot Act, all of them. I mean, they loved it. They loved that they could do that. So wait, why did I stop here? I think there is
no, it's working. Well,
historical EU.
The historical European context. UAPs are not just an American phenomenon. Some may think,
no, they're not.
Believe it's always been a global phenomenon, with sightings and testimonies from all over the world. Europe has always been in a central position as of sighting reports, even before the American public discovered the flying saucers in the summer of 1947. The first post-war wave of unidentified aerial sightings were the ghost rockets over Scandinavia, but also
the ghost rockets
and the Mediterranean countries in 1946.
We actually covered that here. They were really weird, and they actually contacted the U.S. because they were scared and they thought there were Russians like shooting over like missiles or something or testing
ghost
missiles.
Rockets?
Yeah, the ghost rockets.
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah. Maybe we didn't.
There are a lot of European witnesses. You may ask, how many? We are talking of opinion polls that asked the question, not so many, asking the question, did you see a UFO? And we have some seemingly different percentages that amount to an average, a weighted average of 6.5% people having seen UFOs. If we remain to the European Union countries, that means as much as 29 million people having seen, thinking they have seen a UAP, a UFO.
29 million crazy people.
They're all just conspiracy theorists.
Are reporting their own sightings. Our estimates are that less than 1% of the witnesses are stepping forth and are reporting
waves. Let's see waves of UFO
placed
sightings.
In the autumn of 1954 with thousands of cases, mostly in France, and so on. And
France,
so on.
H-bomb.
We had the national waves in the UK in 1967, in Spain 68, in Italy 73, in France 74. Important waves of UAP sightings took place in most European countries along the last 75 years at last. My own country, Italy, suffered such a strong UAP wave in the late 1978 that fishermen refused to go.
I don't think we need to play any more of this. Very cool video. It is good to show that this is not just an American
exactly
phenomenon.
Right. It's not. And when people just say, how come it only happens in the United States? It does not only happen.
It absolutely does not.
So these are the Europeans. Oh, it's something really cool now. So the Europeans are spending $95 billion. Do you remember SETI at home? Have you ever? Yeah. Did you ever know what it is? SETI at home?
It sounds familiar, but no.
So it was something in the early 2000s. I had it on all my computers, and what it was is that SETI, SETI is the search for extraterrestrial intelligence, right?
Right.
But
we didn't have. They found the WOW signal.
Right, exactly. And they were scanning the skies, but they didn't have supercomputers. So they used the internet as a supercomputer. So what they would do is that you'd put the software on your computer.
Oh, and kind of use it like a network.
Yes, and they would send you snippets, and your computer would look for the code while it's in the screensaver time. And it was just phenomenal. And apparently what they said was nothing happened at the time, or we didn't find anything. But however, the EU apparently found something, and now they're funding it over a $90 billion. So here, listen to this.
Wow.
Yeah. It's Professor Simon. We've showed him before on the show. Look at him. He looks like a beaver. Look at his teeth. He's British.
For aliens, because they worry it would undermine their fundamental religion. But just look at this. This is a list of the organizations, the countries, the big business, and the money involved in EU doing a major project. It could be just the EU spending money. They like big science, like CERN and ITER, the fusion project. So on your behalf, I asked the obvious question: what have they found? And this is the intriguing piece of information that I can share with you to close this film. They found modulation. They found a signal. Now, first of all, they found a planet buzzing with RF energy. Imagine you had a transistor radio on the moon and you were listening to the Earth. There would be thousands of radio stations and TV and military and Wi-Fi and phone networks. It would be very difficult to resolve anything. All that you would know is that the Earth is very technologically based. But actually hearing an individual signal, even Radio Luxembourg, would be very hard from, say, the moon with a radio. But using this wide field global network funded by the EU, my source tells me they've resolved some signals. He's telling me that they found discernible, unique information encoded in the global ET signal. What is it, says I? Decoding what they have found is a big part of this project. What he was prepared to say is their pictures, their data. What exactly alien ET pictures would look like is really fascinating. I hope what I've told you today is enough to convince you that massive funding is being spent on a mega project, a global EU-run telescope network. Why are they doing it? And when will they reveal what they found? The truth is out there.
Cool. It's a good video, so you should definitely go back and watch it. But he he also mentions that there's a cultural difference between the US and the EU, and he does mention that we have fundamental Christians in the government, and they think it's all demonic, and he doesn't have that. I think it's a front. Obviously, our politicians don't give a crap about religion. They're not religious. We know they're all corrupt pieces of crap, and it's just a front, and they use it, when it's convenient.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. I completely agree with you.
I mean, yeah, I would say, I don't know anything about that. It's demonic. It's satanic. And that's it. And you just shut up, everyone. Oh, speaking of that, you sent me this.
Yeah, this popped up like everywhere for a couple of days there.
People.com.
So
rare disorder.
Go ahead.
Rare disorder makes people think they're seeing demonic faces like a creature in a horror movie. Is this a new disorder? Or has this been around for a while?
It's called called prosopagmatimorphoria, I think. I don't know. Do you want to take a swing at that one? Prosopometamorphos. I can't do it. What happened there? Prosopometamorphosis.
coma. No, I'm not gonna do it.
All right, the disorder causes people's faces to appear grossly stretched out in demon-like ways. I don't think that's a demon. I think that's Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Doesn't that look like Donkey Kong?
Yeah, it doesn't look very scary there. It looks, weird.
I mean, yeah, but I saw this story. It just kept popping up and popping up and popping up.
Right.
For the first time, scientists were able to use computer software to illustrate how the disorder distorts people's faces. The recently diagnosed patient says he hopes his case will help others, with the disorder who are often misdiagnosed with mental illness. Yeah, that'd be nice.
Right. A rare disorder. I mean, do they end up like killing people or screaming at people? Or
yeah, probably.
I had one guy. I think he was alone. He was like talking to himself too. We were at a restaurant, and then we ate. We got up, and he just all of a sudden looks at my daughter. He goes, "Are you okay?" Like screaming. I'm like, "Dude, sit down." Like I had to get really aggressive with him. Like he was getting really weird. And
do you remember? Do you remember we covered the video like months ago? That lady on the plane who was going, "That guy is not real. He is not real."
Yeah, maybe that's what she was having.
Yeah, could be.
Right, something like that.
It's like staring at demons.
Huh.
The patient, Victor Shara, told CNN, "Imagine waking up one morning and suddenly everybody in the world looks like a creature in a horror movie." According to the study, the patient stated that the distortions, severely stretched features of the face with deep grooves on the forehead, cheeks, and chin, were present on every person's face he encountered.
Whoa.
But he reported no delusions when looking at objects such as houses or cars.
What?
Yeah, that would be really, really scary.
That's like he's on like mushrooms or something.
The patient said that even though faces were distorted, he was able to recognize who they were. Wow.
All right, that makes no sense.
Well, and what's that? Hold on.
He had an arachnoid cyst. Arachnoid, as in spider-like?
Oh God.
What? An
arachnoid. Hold on, go back. Sorry. I was about to explain it.
It was supposed to open a new. All right.
An arachnoid cyst is a non-cancerous, fluid-filled sac that grows on the brain or spinal cord.
Huh.
Cleveland Clinic explains. While they may cause headaches or seizures, treatment isn't always necessary unless they cause problems, which clearly this guy had.
Right.
They can cause brain damage and movement problems. Wow. It's weird that that's how the brain works, though, a non-cancerous cyst that causes you to see people as demons.
Well, as long as he doesn't like lash out and become like violent or something like that,
Well, hold on. The patient had a history of bipolar affective disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder. Oh God, this guy's got a lot of problems.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Additionally, he had a significant head injury at the age of 43 years that led to hospitalization. Okay. I think there might be more at work than just.
He also had possible carbon monoxide poisoning at the age of 55.
Okay, well,
12 months prior to the onset.
This poor guy had a lot of problems. Still, though, really scary to think about. I mean, judging on these photos, I don't think I'd be like weirded out, and I'd be like, "Are you wearing a mask or something?" I don't think I'd be like all that scared. You know what I mean?
Right, William Dafoe.
Yeah. It does look like William Dafoe. Great actor. Love that guy.
He is a great actor. So MH370 is still going on, but this is cool. So these are blast wave perturbations. Perturbations. They all look similar. So you know how they take that explosion at the end and they say, "Oh, it looks like a VFX video that's been around." Apparently. That's how explosions look like. This is just a minute 40, so we won't spend too much time on this.
Explosions, often found in supernovae, shock waves, or explosions in various environments such as land, water, space, and air. Small fluctuations in the density or pressure of the surrounding medium can lead to the perturbations, or a bumpy pattern, in the blast waves. For example, in 2021, researchers from the Royal Astronomical Society ran hydrodynamic simulations of supernova blast waves propagating through the interstellar medium. One of the frames is nearly a perfect match to the VFX effect from the 1990s that is being used to supposedly debunk MH370 videos. Unless you believe the Royal Astronomical Society is faking its results, these are clearly not the same asset. In 2011, researchers from McGill University exploded glass particles with C4. Again, we can clearly see the Taylor-Sadov blast pattern emerge from the explosion. And once again, we can overlay one single frame from the same blast wave from the C4 explosion on top of the 90s stock VFX footage and find a nearly identical match. Does this mean the McGill researchers faked their blast wave? Of course not. In 2018, researchers from the Royal Society of Chemistry ran experiments on the jetting patterns of flower explosions in order to mimic the patterns found in volcanic eruptions, meteorite impacts, explosions of landmines, and other explosions. Once again, we can take a single frame from one of their experiments and find a match to the VFX stock effect from the 1990s. By now, it should be obvious that patterns from Taylor-Sadov blast waves can be found in a wide variety of different environments, proving that the MH370 videos are not debunked by stock VFX footage from the 1990s.
Boom. Yes, MH370 is still a thing. I mean, even these guys, look at this Culture, Mir.com, Culture, they did their own investigation on it. And apparently they invited an expert without telling him anything. Searching for an expert. So it's really cool. The analysis. So he's a military consultant. It should be noted here that before finding an aviation expert, we had the opportunity to show the videos to a military advisor who will go by Simon. Their attention peaked during the drone video, and they noticed something we had not seen commented on anywhere else. The drone is in the contrails of the aircraft. In their opinion, this was a military operation because of the drone's presence and proximity to the aircraft. Aviation expert.
Wow.
The aviation expert's analysis began with the aircraft. The aircraft exhibited some improbable movements. The tight turn of the aircraft is from a perspective other than a normal lookup. We know that, looking up. The turn was greater than the standard rate of 2 minutes. At first, they thought the aircraft was an Antonov AN-225 due to its Y-shaped tail. This craft is a strategic airlift cargo aircraft designed and produced by the Antonov Design Bureau in Soviet Union. So yeah, and then after lengthier inspection, they determined the aircraft was a Boeing or an Airbus. So anyway, he goes through his logic. This would make the aircraft military, not commercial. Contenders for the aircraft include either a Boeing 737, 577, 757, or 767. The MH370 was a 777. So the aviation expert analyzed the 3 devices in the video. According to the expert, the videos appear to show an experimental test with some sort of new military technology. The 3 devices, they're calling those orbs devices, could be next generation guided weapons. The 3 devices do not appear to be a final product, but are more likely to be a scaled down beta version of certain systems.
Jesus Christ.
Some of the videos show some sort of very distinct exhaust trail being emitted from the 3 devices. The 3 devices probably blend existing technology with new technology. They appear to be testing a design for finally adjusting trajectory, speed, and distance from the tracked object, in this case, the aircraft.
Whoa, I don't know what's scarier, if this was some sort of alien teleportation device or if this is our military trying out stuff on an aircraft. I mean, good Lord.
So crazy. It's so insane. But that's what Ashton's saying. That's ours, and he says people are being saved, or there's a lot of reasons like why they would do this. We don't really know why, but the aircraft still hasn't been found yet.
Right.
So this is a really good article on that.
Great article. I encourage all of our listeners to check this out. Again, it'll be in the Google document attached to the comment, or in the episode information section.
Absolutely. All right, so we can almost finish up here. So we're at 1 hour 20 minutes. So we can do 20 more minutes. So now that there's a solar eclipse next week, right? On March 8th.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I remember the last solar eclipse that happened where we're at. I didn't realize there was another one coming up.
There's another one, and
my job all gave us glasses to wear, and so we could all go out and look. And the whole day it looked like hazy outside. It was very interesting, very cool.
So it's going across the United States again, and the X, makes an X, right? It's making an X in a city called Rapture.
Oh God,
I know.
Oh God, so we're here. We just rolled up against it.
but there's some weird things happening. So NASA is launching to launch sounding rockets into moon's shadow during solar eclipse.
Now, what's a sounding rocket?
I have no clue.
Sounding rockets during the solar eclipse, April 8th. Okay, a couple days, like a week away.
Yeah, it's affected.
They're studying how Earth's upper atmosphere is affected when sunlight momentarily dims over a portion of the planet.
Atmospheric perturbations around eclipse path, APEP, sounding rockets will launch from NASA's Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia to study the disturbances in the ionosphere created when the moon eclipses the sun. Oh.
Do you know where we're at right now? Are we going to be able to see the eclipse, or is it just kind of one of those things where it happens someplace else in the United States?
Yeah, I don't think we can see them. We won't be able to see a full eclipse. It'll probably just be a little one.
God, that was so cool last time. Now
I remember.
I'm transported back to, I don't know when the hell it was, 2017.
2017. Yeah, Trump was president, right?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so national parks such as Niagara Falls, New York, Hot Springs National Park in Arkansas, Ohio, So the path of totality includes parts of Europe, North Asia, Northwest Africa, much of North America, and North South America. In Florida, you can watch the solar eclipse at locations such as the Orlando Science Center. So I don't think we can see it here.
Shit, I want to look this up because I don't know. It was such a cool, moving event when it happened.
I don't see California here. Oh man,
nah, we're gonna miss it.
We're going to miss it because Texas can see it, Arkansas, Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, and Maine.
Oh, you Eastern Coast bastards and Southern
But we'll
Coast.
still be able to see a little bit of it, I think.
Yeah. It'll look cool, but I don't think they're going to be handing out sunglasses this time.
Yeah, no. I mean, you can still probably see it. How did I do it? I forgot how I did it. I had my telescope back then still. I didn't sell it. So I had it pointed to the sun, and then I had it on a piece of paper.
Jesus, that sounds dangerous.
Yeah, but I had it on a piece of paper, so I was looking at the piece of paper. It was really cool. Yeah. All right, that's the sounding rockets, and then something else. There, look who else is doing something during the eclipse.
Oh no.
Yeah.
They are really trying to bring the apocalypse on, huh?
Yeah, CERN to test world's most powerful particle accelerator during April's solar eclipse to search for invisible matter that secretly powers our universe.
Good God in heaven. We are doomed.
I know. So
everyone,
NASA...
get your go bags already. Shit's about to go down.
Did you see also some states are not allowing trucks on the road during the eclipse?
What? Like no, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I forget which state.
Are you talking like anything with a flatbed, or are you talking like semis?
Truck bans during eclipse. Let's see who it was. News about truck bans during eclipse. Texas restricts oversized truckloads on the day of the eclipse. So it's Texas.
Okay. Oversized truckloads. That's not the same as banning all trucks from the road.
Yeah, so it's a big truck. So who are VTrans? VTrans also announced they will institute weekend and holiday travel restrictions for oversized and overweight vehicles loads during the eclipse. All right. So is it fear porn? Like, what is going on? You know? Hey, is April 8th Sunday? Is it when we're supposed to do?
April
8th. No, that's a Monday. All right, so it'll be a day after.
Okay.
It'll be a day after.
So we'll do our last show on the day before.
Yeah. So I don't know what CERN is up to. They're always doing weird stuff.
Always doing weird stuff.
Look at that thing. It is such a crazy facility. Just the whole idea behind it is smashing particles at the speed of light.
I mean, science is cool.
Yeah.
It's just they go about it in a weird way. I'll still never forget that ritual they did. I don't know if it was supposed to be a joke or something, where they all dressed in black robes.
Yeah.
Outside the facility. And then there was also that one guy that said he was a time traveler from the future, and he was coming back to stop CERN. That probably a nut job, but even still,
Yeah, and even the other time traveler, Teeter, he said that they'll find out mini black holes in time travel when they turn it on, and then he went, and that was before CERN was turned on.
I've got movie, TV show, and book recommendations lined up. This just reminded me of one. That's why I said that.
All right, let's do one more. So, 3 body problem.
Oh, this is God. I was just about to talk about the 3 body problem because of that last article.
Oh, you're kidding me.
No.
Look how that happens.
Oh,
well, that show
God.
has been making people like blow their it's just
Have you watched it yet?
I watched half of the first one. I finished the audio of the first book, by the way.
Oh, good.
Talk about proton, and the second dimension. It's crazy, mind blowing stuff.
Yeah, I know, man.
I have to read it again because I didn't really get it. So
there's a lot of hard science in there, but anyway,
so cool though, so cool. I love how they push consciousness that way, or they to push your limits of how to conceptualize things. I love that. I really do.
Just wait until you get to the next 2 books. I mean, holy shit, that book series is something else. So and the show's really good too. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, the show must be good because it is being shared a lot, especially in our circles, the UFO circles, and high technology. So, but this thing is weird because no one knows who made it, but it's showing up at people's houses. This VR headset. The three body problem VR headset review, magical tech in need of more apps. The device is far more advanced than the Apple Vision Pro, but it needs more than one game to justify the purchase once you can actually purchase one, that is.
So what are they? Hold on.
They're saying it's like real. They're saying it's indistinguishable and it's light. It's very easy to put on.
So I can't remember if they talked about it in the books and I haven't read them it's been like a year, I think, or maybe even longer than that since I've read the books, but I don't remember if they talk about it, but in the show they talk about how it basically plugs into your brain and that's why everything is like essentially real.
Oh, wow. But this one, let's start with the hardware. It's a sleek metallic headset that's so light that you can barely feel it at all. It's completely wireless, and unlike, say, the Apple Vision Pro, it seems to work for just about everyone right out of the box. No fussing around with visual settings or specially fitted seals. Just put it on and go. And then
no loading times. Hell yeah.
No, yeah, and just one game. I guess it's this 3-body problem game.
So this is real?
This is real, yeah.
This is real. This is a thing you could go out and buy.
No, you cannot buy it. People are getting it to their houses so they can review it, and they don't know who makes it. They don't know how expensive it is.
So this is just what's it called? That advertising that's like secret.
Do you think it's just made for this show?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, so it's like wait a minute.
I think this is guerrilla marketing at its best.
And that's why we don't know what it is. I got duped.
I don't think this thing is actually real. I think it's just you put it on and you watch some sort of thing that happens on your screen in front of your eyes.
Can I check the comments? Okay, yeah. Mine just showed up in my living room yesterday. So happy I got one.
Okay. So this is totally fake. Okay. All right.
So it's for the show.
Yeah, it's guerrilla marketing. It's clever. You need to watch the show though. The show it starts off like the first couple episodes I was like, "Oh, this is neat." And then by the end I was like, "Holy shit, I love this."
Did you see the deep fake stuff? What's going on?
Lines because the video below would be AI generated. I'm also a deep fake. And you should take care when you watch a video on the internet. See you soon. Some people are losing their minds because the video.
That's pretty wild.
By the deep fake model of Argyle AI. It allows you to generate videos of yourself in any language in less than 2 minutes. You can also.
I saw this one actually. Maybe you sent it to me. Yeah, that one with the crazy lady. You can kind of tell it's fake, like from her eyes.
Yeah, kind of.
That's been building up on you all day. What's even crazier is that some of you are applying deodorant on top of that odor, which is honestly probably making it worse.
See here, eyes don't like.
It's a little
there we go.
hygiene hack. My friend told me about these cloths from Get Dirty. They were
Her
originally
eyes don't
formulated
really
for
match
firefighters
like what
to remove
she's saying.
carcinogens
There's no
off their
emotion in
skin.
them. I mean,
All right,
it's
no.
really, really interesting stuff, though.
Dude, there's some crazy stuff going on with AI. Like seriously. All right, so I that's just there we go. That's that is everything. And then I think that should go perfectly. The three body problem should go into Topher's movie corner here.
Yeah, definitely watch the Three Body Problem. Better yet, read the books. The Netflix adaptation is fairly faithful. I can see the differences they made, but it's not like a great. It's not bad, the changes they made, and I understand why they made them.
Did they cover all three?
No.
Show?
It's basically it's the first book and part of the second book. Maybe I mean it's hard to say because of the changes they made, but there's elements of the second book that are in the show. Also, I watched the first 2 seasons of True Detective, and I fell back in love. I know we talked about season 4 not too long ago, and I hated it. It was terrible.
Is it really that bad?
Season
I haven't
4,
finished it. I haven't finished it now because of what you said.
I honestly don't think it's even worth finishing. There's nothing.
Dude, you're kidding me. How? Why did it start out so well? Like, how do you mess that up?
I mean,
woke stuff.
It's all. So, I read this comment online, and I totally get it and understand it, and I completely agree with it. Where you could watch the first 5 minutes of an episode and the last 5 minutes of the episode, and you didn't miss anything that happens during the middle. There's nothing. There's just nothing there. It's all fluff. But I remember I liked season 2 when it first came out. I remember a lot of people were sour on it. I rewatched it. I think it's fucking amazing.
I love 2. Yeah, 1 and 2 are amazing.
Yeah, I'm actually in the middle of season 3 right now, and it's okay. But I mean, obviously, season 1 is like the best television.
2 is not bad either, though. I really like. I really like
2. 2 is right up there. I really like 2, and I don't understand why it was so harshly judged.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, 3. I'm getting through it. It seems pretty good. I mean, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
4. Oh, it's just so bad. So bad. Oh, anyway, I wanted to ask you about Fallout. How's that going?
Yeah, good. So I only picked it up again a couple of days ago. So now I went to go help this community. They have their farm. So I'm going to help beat some bandits, I guess, that have been but I veered off, so I kept dying because these stupid like big ass flies kept like but I wasted all my bullets on the Gatling gun on these zombies, which was great, just tore them to shreds, but I wasted all the bullets. Like, oh no, I know something's gonna show up. Like, I just wish I can figure out where I can get more bullets all the time, I ran out of battery for the suit, the body armor suit, which sucks. So I hid it in the gas station until I find another battery.
This is you're playing Fallout, baby. I'm loving this. This is how the game is played. You're not constantly, like once you get to a certain spot, you can find bullets and batteries and all that stuff. But
okay,
I mean,
all right. Yeah, so I'm not there yet, and I keep veering off. And
it's not like
a
certain part of the story. It's just a certain part of like once you get to, I don't want to say like understand the game, but like once you start figuring stuff out, it becomes a lot easier. But I'm loving this. I'm loving to hear about this kind of stuff. It's a great game.
And I have to do it late at night when everyone's sleeping, especially like zombies. My daughter can't handle those, So and because I'm alone and it's just really freaky, I'm like, oh my god, it just adds to it. But it's cool, man. It's a cool game. I really like it. I like that. It's not a huge. Is it a big world? I guess it is, right? It's not that big because it's made in not that long ago.
I mean, it's pretty big. I mean, and there's just a ton of stuff. I mean, you could spend hours just exploring.
Yeah,
exploring. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's it's just so many surprises too. Like, and is everything like radioactive? Like all the animals are radioactive.
Not always.
That's right. I went to a place of water, and these things just jumped up, and that's where I wasted all my Gatling bullets on those two things. Oh,
I think I know exactly what you're talking about.
Giant crabs or something.
Yeah.
Oh man, that part was so freaky. I'm not utilizing my dog enough. I know that for sure. He's following me.
I was going to ask you about dog meat.
Yeah, dog meat.
Dog meat. It's not that exact dog, but I think every game has a version of dog meat.
Oh, so I need to utilize him more. Like tell him to go check stuff out before me going. Right.
I don't know. I barely use him.
Okay.
He's helpful in combat, but it just takes too much time to go tell him to do stuff, And he's cute as hell.
He is. It keeps you company.
You can put a bandana and goggles on him, and I just found that hysterical.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So when is the Fallout show coming out?
April 11th, about a week and a half from now.
Oh, sweet!
Yeah.
I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for that. That's gonna be so sick.
Apparently it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
You've seen it already.
I mean, just based on the trailers, you can tell that like they put a lot of care and effort into the show to make it look like the games.
Yeah, and Nolan. I'm never disappointed in him. Not Christopher Nolan, his brother. He's
Jonifer.
Is it John?
I'm going with Jonifer.
Jonifer. Wait a minute. Where's IMDb?
No, it's Jonathan. It's Jonathan.
Oh, okay, Jonathan. I have to remember that because I love Westworld. I think it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, I mean the first.
Not all seasons. I think season 2 was too violent. It was just a waste of time. I think, but season 1 was really good. Wait, was 2 the one that with the Asian? Was that 3 when they get into like Japan and like?
I think that was 2.
Okay, 2. Yeah, that was just it was just all violence. Like there was no story to it. Really.
Right.
Yeah, but then what were you gonna say about it?
No, I was just gonna say the first season I think again is like peak television, and then after that, I felt pretty meh about it.
Yeah, I mean just the concepts too about it, right? I think especially when we talk about humans and how we were developed and how we were made, and the Garden of Eden and what made us become conscious. Maybe we're being used or enslaved. Same thing as them, right? In the movie,
right.
They're enslaved. Something sparked them to wake up because it was like decades and decades and decades of just being misused. And yeah, it
was just like the story was all over the place after season 1. I mean, season 1 like made sense. You understood all the character, and then like they started introducing like time skips and time jumps, and then this happened a long time ago, but this happens now, and it was just like. It was hard to follow, and it just wasn't. It wasn't
different supercomputers.
Yeah, it got too. And then they have like the little brain things inside them, but then she's putting the brain things inside other people. I mean, I was just like, okay, like this is just like
it became layers upon layers upon layers.
Yeah, it was just like, I mean, I get what you're going for, but I just want to watch TV, man. I don't want to. I don't want to like. Have to study for a test at the end just to understand what's going on.
That's true. Yeah, the story got way too intricate, way too complicated too.
All right, well that's it for me. Do you have anything, Cuz? You want to?
No, I'm good. I mean, I would love our listeners. Most of you to just go on YouTube, just subscribe, even if you don't want to watch us there or listen to us there, or even go on YouTube. Just go and subscribe. Say Uncovering Anomalies Podcast and subscribe because I want to like beat what they're doing.
Yeah, we got to beat the algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. Beat the algorithm because we have 85% of people that are watching are not subscribed, but they find us, in the search. So there's there's interest there, but we need the subscriptions and we need more people to listen to the show. So yeah, we're there on Uncovering Anomalies Podcast. We're on Rumble at UAP Podcast. Follow us on Twitter. Hit us up over there. Our handle is UAP the podcast on Twitter, and I'm at Breakaway Civil, and Topher is at Topher It All. And Rumble, And on BitChute too, if that's your platform that you want to listen to. So we started putting up episodes there as well. So yeah, let's see how we're doing. You know, give us feedback. Anything you guys want us to cover, we will cover. If you guys don't like what we're doing, also we're called. What was it? This video is F Tardia. Was one that was taken down actually, so that comment's not there anymore because the video's not there. But even bad comments like that, we welcome it. You know.
Yeah, we've got thick skin, and we truly want to hear feedback.
Right.
So I was it 2 weeks ago. I asked if there's any hot girls out there that are interested in wanting to meet me. I haven't met or heard from any hot girls, but if you're still out there, hot girls, just send me a DM.
Yeah, you can email us too at uncoveringanomalies@gmail.com.
And also, if you have an experience with the weird and unknown parts of this universe, let us know too. We'd be happy to talk to you.
Yes, we will. And if you want to come on the show and tell your story, you're more than welcome to do so.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for the Uncovering Anomalies podcast. That is I Want to Believe Adam.
Yes, and happy Easter, everybody.
Happy Easter, and be careful because I'll be taking your eggs, Topher.
All right. Talk to you next week.
All right. See ya.